My name is Don Rawich, and many years ago I was a co-inventor of the well-known computer simulation game Oregon Trail. Of course, the students had textbooks, and there were probably some film strips we could show about the westward movement, but I'm a big proponent of the kids participating in their instruction.
The first recollection that I have of Oregon Trail was my roommate Don Rawich having this big map spread out on the floor. It was this white paper about 2.5 or 3 feet wide and about 4 feet long, and he had it spread out like a game board with a little path that went from Missouri out to Oregon.
Bill and I kind of looked at each other and said, well, do you think we could do this on the computer? We were kind of young computer programmers back then.
We kind of came up with the idea that we might be able to simulate a trip over the Oregon Trail using the computer.
Computers were very different than they are now. They didn't have any screen at all, so there could be no graphics. It was simply a teletype, like a typewriter, just printing out messages on paper. Your family of 5 will cover the 2,000-mile Oregon Trail in 5 to 6 months, if you make it alive.
With every turn, you make decisions that the pioneers would have had to have made.
You want to eat 1 poorly, 2 moderately, or 3 well.
And then the computer, using a model, calculates what the results of your actions are.
Uh-oh, cold weather, brrr. But you have enough clothing to keep you warm, so I guess I survived that.
And they had the opportunity to live through some of the decision-making that people back in other times, other historical times, would have had to do.
It says, do you want to hunt or continue? And of course, being low on food, we're going to hunt. So it says type bang, and I have to type bang as fast as I can, and I obviously did. It says, nice shot, right through the neck, feast tonight. You finally arrived at Oregon City after 2,040 long miles. Hooray!
I hauled the school's 1 teletype into my classroom, and there was a phone there, and we made the connection. I had divided up my class into small groups of 5 people, simulating the size of a family, perhaps, that would have traveled in a wagon.
What ended up happening was that kids started coming on their lunch hours, and they would come at different times, and we actually had lines out the door waiting to play this game. And even people enjoyed, kids even enjoyed watching other kids play. So you'd have 2 or 3 kids standing around watching somebody play.
The kids play the game, and at the end it says, do you want to play again? And there's always a line of kids, and the next kid sits down and says yes, and plays again. So this program is on from 7 o'clock in the morning when the first kids arrive early before school starts so they can play the game, until long after school when the last teacher is leaving and tells them they have to go home.
It was not a quiz, it was not a kind of a drill on basic skills, but rather it was a simulation and a challenge to them.
It's pretty mind-boggling to realize that you were part of the creation of something that's had such a worldwide effect.
It was going to be successful, but as far as how long it has been successful, that has amazed me.
Yeah, well, I feel a little bit like Mick Jagger, you know. I'm a lot older, but somehow people are still interested. I think there are definitely several lessons to be learned, one of which is that the trail in life is often long, but if you stick with it and apply yourself and make good decisions, you can get where you want to go.
President James K. Polk sends you his heartiest congratulations and wishes you a prosperous life ahead at your new home.